Dr. Evans, thank you very much.
Hello, my friend. How are you?
Welcome. Very good and very excited for President Trump as the next president. Once again, should the state of Israel be excited about this term?
They are, and they should be. The greatest president in history for the state of Israel.
There are concerns now that the new hostage deal has been signed that perhaps it could have been reached with better conditions.
The question is, who are you at war with? Hamas is an ideology. You can't kill an ideology with a bullet. In order for you to finish the job, you've got to deal with the head of the snake, Iran. But Donald Trump's your partner. He's going to help you. Here's how he's going to help you. Number one, the agreement, if it's broken in phase 2, Donald Trump will give the state of Israel the authorization to finish the job with a heavy fist, with no restraints from the United States, A. B, if you succeed with the agreement, Donald Trump will let every country know, such as Qatar, if you do any funding to Hamas, I will put sanctions on you. You'll have hell to pay. Donald Trump will set up a trust with not the Palestinians having their hands on the trust. It'll have a firewall outside of it. I think you're going to have a Muslim coalition that it's going to include Egypt, include Saudi Arabia, in Gaza. I think there's going to be a massive re-education program. He's going to bring Saudi Arabia in this year to make peace with the state of Israel, which will bring the whole Sunni world. So Donald Trump is your greatest friend.
President Trump prides himself as someone who will not start new wars, but end wars. With those statements, why should the Israeli public believe that there will be support from the Trump administration to go back into fighting in Gaza once Hamas doesn't stand up to the conditions of the ceasefire?
Donald Trump will not bring troops in to fight terror in the Middle East or a war, but he'll give Israel everything they need so they can do it.
So Israel will have the support of the Trump administration to go back into fighting at the end of this phase of the ceasefire?
If in fact they don't comply, the answer is yes. He'll give them, there'll be no sanctions on Israel. You'll get everything you need and more.
So when Steve Witkoff met with Prime Minister Netanyahu 2 weeks ago and gently persuaded him to go for this deal as it is, were there any other guarantees given to Israel when signing this?
In my opinion, he did. I'm sure Bibi Netanyahu wanted to deal with Iran, and he's closer now than ever to having a dilemma with Iran and its centrifuge program. So I believe the conversation came up. Are you with me over Iran? And the answer is yes.
How likely is he to support an Israeli strike against Iran's nuclear facilities? And would the U.S. actually take part in such an operation, or just leave the dirty work to Israel to do?
I don't think the United States will take part in it at all, with the exception of plausible deniability. If you need refueling, you'll get it. If you need cooperation for Gulf states, you'll get it.
What should we expect in terms of normalization with Saudi Arabia? Is this deal with Gaza enough to satisfy the needs of the Saudis when they're expecting a Palestinian state, something that Prime Minister Netanyahu at least says he will not accept?
The Crown Prince expects what we would call a Palestinian state. He told me in a meeting, they wasted my money. They shouldn't be fighting Israel. They should be copying Israel. He said that 2 capitals in Jerusalem would be a terror capital. I don't believe for a second the definition of a Palestinian state is land for peace. I believe in the mind of the Prime Minister of Saudi Arabia, it's peace for peace. I believe there'll be sovereignty for Judea and Samaria. Mike Huckabee supports it. He was chosen to be ambassador. I believe Donald Trump will do it. And I think they'll give the Palestinians an opportunity for autonomy. This is going to take time. There's no possibility of a quick Palestinian state. And I think that Saudi Arabia knows that also.
Dr. Evans, we'd like to thank you very much for your time, and good luck to President Trump.
Thank you.